Yo, so we're doing a little different today. I set my camera up because, an idea just sparked in my mind that I had to make this video. I'm seeing a trend right now, so we're gonna talk about it. Year after year, January comes around and I see creatives set these big, bold goals. And then by February, most of these goals are already out the window. That sound familiar? Trust me, I've been there, trying to chase that New Year's resolution, feeling like the pressure is now. The truth is, most creatives fail at reaching those goals, and it's not because of their lack of talent or ambition. It's that critical mistake that you make in the beginning. Today, I want to break down 4 different reasons why I feel like creatives fail at the New Year's goals, and more importantly, how you can set yourself up for success in 2025. Let's get into it. All right, so we're just gonna dive into it. The number one reason why I feel like creatives fail at reaching their New Year's resolution is simply just setting unrealistic goals, right? So, example, actually last year, it's actually on my vision board right here, I made a New Year's resolution of hitting 100,000 followers on Instagram. Now, I don't know if y'all check my Instagram out. I'm only at 2,000 followers, so that should tell you everything you need to know. But the problem with setting that goal was that it was way too big and unrealistic. At the time last year, I was at maybe like 1,200 followers, 1,300 followers, and it was just a way too big of a goal. Not to say that I wasn't able or I couldn't achieve 100,000 followers in a year, but it was way too big for what I currently was at. You see that a lot of times with people saying, I want to make $100,000 by next year, but their previous salary was $30,000. There's nothing wrong with setting big goals. That's what we're all about. We're here dreaming big. But the problem with that is the gap between where you're at and that goal is just way too large. So what you have to do is really set smaller, achievable goals with a specific time frame. So obviously the new year is here, right? Everyone's worried about their 2025 goals, their 2025 resolution. Now I have a different approach when I come into the New Year's resolution. Instead of thinking about my 2025 goals, what are my Q1 goals? What type of things do I want to, within the next 3 months of this year, certain things that I want to achieve and I want to hit. So when you think of it that way, it's a lot less intimidating. When you think of your 2025 goals, you think of like grand, large thing. But now that you give yourself a 3-month time frame, it's like, okay, what are things for sure that I want to accomplish in these 3 months? So I'll give you guys an example. I actually use Milanote for my goal setting. I also use that for my creative organization. But first quarter goals, right? I wrote them down. One of my goals was actually to create 2 YouTube videos per month. So y'all gotta keep tapping in to see if I still follow with that, but that's one of my goals. One of my goals is to really be consistent on my social platforms, so posting 3 to 4 times a week. I've been getting a lot of DMs and a lot of messages about my creative process and how I build my business and things around that nature. So I wanna be able to help people on a more worldwide scale. Right now, I am based in Philadelphia. A lot of my work is client work in my surrounding areas, but I get a lot of messages from people in Idaho, from people in Texas, from people in Florida, right? So I got to figure out how to help those people as well, right? So I want to do that through digital products. I think if I really sit down and really write my processes down and really write down things that have helped me in my creative process, it can really help somebody else. I think doing something simple like that, like instead of thinking about your 12-month plan, think about your 30-day plan. Think about your 90-day plan, right? However you want to divvy up, right? One of my goals for this quarter was to establish and really be set in my morning routine. That was something I felt like it was kind of lacking last year in 2024. I kind of fell off my routine a little bit. I lacked a little bit of structure. And, I'm a Taurus, so we're all about structure. We're all about habit. We're all about routine. So that's something I want to build and have set in stone by the end of, because I know that will set me up for the rest of the year, So start setting smaller goals. Put a time frame to your goal because it's much less intimidating that way. And then in turn, it's much more achievable. That kind of leads me to my next point, which is focusing way too far ahead. The problem I really see is like creators really focusing on the end result as opposed to breaking it down into smaller steps. Again, back to the Q1 goals. I'm not just done with just writing down my goals. I got to figure out, okay, how are we gonna get this done? I literally break down the quarter. The quarter in total is 91 days. So we have 31 days in January, we have 28 days in February, and we have 31 days in March. You gotta break it down like this so it is like, it makes sense in your brain. This is what works for me, right? It helps it make sense in my brain, because now I'm able to see, okay, like, how can we move from this? So then I start breaking down, okay, what are a couple of things I want to get done in January? So I break it down. Ideally, my routine is broken down into 3 parts. Right now, for the month of January, I want to master the first part, which is simply my morning routine. And my morning routine, I like to call it the 5 cheat codes. So you wake up, brush your teeth. Brush your teeth is number 1. Then you meditate. I like to do a 5-minute guided meditation session in the morning. Really helps me. Right now, I feel like I'm in a time of a lot of overwhelm and a lot of mental clutter. So meditation helps me kind of release that tension that I'm feeling in my head. So we have brush your teeth. We have meditation. Right after meditation, we go into journaling. That's number 3 of the cheat code. Journaling easily has been the biggest cheat code of my life last year. It literally has helped me organize and stay focused on tasks, and really ultimately changed my life. Like, honestly, if you guys haven't journaled or haven't spent the time to really pick up that habit, I really, really recommend that, because that has completely changed my life. And then after I do those 3 things, I like to work out and eat a good breakfast. So those are the 5 cheat codes. I like to get that done by latest 10 a.m., 10:30 a.m. max. So that's what I like to do in the morning to really set myself up for the day. And you know, sometimes it's hard. Sometimes like it's a struggle getting out of bed. Sometimes nights are unpredictable. You go to sleep at unpredictable times. So for the first 10 days of this year, I've been pretty good at it. We'll see where that kind of leads me. Now, remember, I told you that there's 3 parts of this routine that I'm trying to build. That was just the morning part. There's a work part, and then there's an evening wind down part. So, but those parts I'm not gonna worry about until we hit February and March, right? January, we're just trying to master the first part of our routine. That is the idea I'm trying to convey to you guys. When you set out a goal for yourself, you have to break it down into specific pieces. You can't set a goal for yourself and just tell yourself to do that goal and you're just gonna get good at it. No, you have to break it down into the manageable spot. So I challenge you guys to really break your goals down into smaller things. And then once February hits, now we'll start to incorporate the next part of the routine, because now you come to it a little bit more like gradually. Like it becomes more like you become more open to it because you've already set a foundation before from the previous month, right? So we're trying to play chess, not checkers here, yo. A lot of these things are really just like mental things that you have to kind of like work with. So definitely stop focusing too far ahead of your goals. Break it down. Give it that love and marination that it actually needs so that you can actually hit those goals. Now you're starting to see progress in your goals, or maybe you're not seeing progress in your goals. A common mistake I see is people not tracking their goals periodically. So you hear this term a lot, out of sight, out of mind. That's where most people drop the ball. I get it. Our life gets busy. You know, life seems to just like kind of just drag us across and kind of move us freely. But if we want to really get serious about our goals this year, we have to put time, attention, intention, and care into it. When you're setting goals and you're doing things on routine, whatever it is, you got to implement some type of check-in with yourself. I like to do that on Sundays. Sundays are the days that I don't work. I try not to work except for my meetings in the morning. And that's really my day of really fully reflecting on the full week. Okay, what did I get done? Where can I get better at a little bit? Where did I kind of slack off, right? And those are things that I like to write down too in my journaling sessions. This is what's going to help you keep stacking week after week, month after month. You need that type of check-in with yourself. You need that type of accountability, especially if you're going on this journey by yourself. If you're chasing New Year's resolution goals by yourself, like you need to check in with yourself. Who's gonna hold you accountable? Come on. So using tools like Notion, Google Calendar, even your notes app on your phone, like those things go a long way. Like you have to review what you accomplished. You have to review what's working and what's not. That's literally the only way you're gonna get better. The last mistake I see so many creatives doing, and honestly, I'm talking to myself here because this can be very, very annoying, and I'm sure a lot of you guys can relate to this, is taking on more than you can handle. Man, I ain't gonna lie, I'm still learning my lesson on this one, but we gonna talk about it. Overloading yourself with too many projects, with too many things on your to-do list, ultimately is going to run you down. So if you're a creative like I am, you're probably doing this for the long haul. You wanna build a career off your creative passions. You want to build a life of financial freedom. You want to do this for the long run. Well, the reality is you're creative. You're not a superhero. I know mom was probably your biggest cheerleader. I know you want to feel coddled and tell that you're a good boy, but at the end of the day, you're not a superhero. You can't be at a million different places at once. Spreading yourself too thin simply leads you to burnout. And I know we've all been there. You wake up, you got 5 things on your to-do list, or you got 5 projects to take care of, and then you check your inbox and you're taking on more clients. And I get that. You know, sometimes in the creative industry, getting clients sometimes can be a struggle. So as soon as that inquiry comes through the inbox, we might feel as if, damn, we need to snaggle that, we need to take that. But what I've been learning within the past couple days, kind of struggling with a little cold, is health really is wealth. At the end of the day, you need great health and well-being to take on your creative pursuits. We're creative. All we do is think of big ideas and use our mind so much. So you need to give your mind some rest too. That's how the mind works. It works, but it also rests. And that's a big thing that I've been learning just along my journey and period, is that as much as you're working, you need to also put that intention into your rest. I'm sure a lot of us can relate. We might be on a computer and before you know it, 10 hours go by. No, for real though. And like you realize you didn't eat, or you realize you didn't freaking shower or some shit. I know that's gross, but like it gets like that sometimes, right? So you gotta remind yourself to really take care of yourself. Something I feel like could help you guys is really when you wake up and you're ready to start your day, really prioritizing your top 3 goals. Something that's really helped me is my journal. Every day, it's like a similar structure you follow in the journal. So every day it tells you to write down your top 3 goals for the day. And that helps me so much because it gives me clarity. If I can get these 3 things done today, I'm good. I had a solid day, right? Sometimes it doesn't happen that way because of course, life happens, things come up, schedule changes, and you have to adjust, and that's okay. But having that clear guide, that clear pathway from the beginning of your day can literally pay dividends for your mind. It gives you that clarity on what steps to take during the day. That was kind of my spiel. I ain't gonna lie, I ain't gonna run you guys too much, but I really wanted to sit down and make this video. It kind of came up in my head right now, and I wrote some things down. I said, let me share this to the people, because if I'm feeling this way, I'm sure a couple of y'all feel this way. But if y'all like these videos, if y'all like these style videos, let me know. I really want to make YouTube a big goal this year and really invite you guys into my mind, invite you guys into my creative process, into building my business, things like that. So if this resonated with you, this is what I want you to do. Pick one of these mistakes, reflect on how it's affected you in the past year, and commit to changing it this year. That's all I want you to do. Simple. Don't make no excuses. I want you to just really reflect and commit to change this year. Because, like I said, I've been there, so I know you've been there as well. I also want to do a lot of one-on-one sessions with creatives this year, so the link is going to be in my bio. Free brand audit sessions where we talk about brand identity, storytelling, and really finding the holes in your business and figuring out solutions for that. So if that's something you're interested in, a link is going to be in the bio. We're doing free brand audits all of January. It's not always going to be like this, so make sure you hop on now, because in a month it might be different. I don't know. Don't say I ain't warn you. But if you like this video, like, comment, subscribe. Comment below really what stood out to you and what change that you're making this year. Let's make 2025 one of the biggest years of our lives. So if you're struggling with clarity or just need like a plan for the first quarter of the year, let's hop on a call. I'd love to help you start the year out strong. All right, y'all. I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.